Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the South, more specifically Atlanta, Georgia. And today, since we are in Atlanta, we're going to swing by and visit Silver Screams Studios, where my friend Shane Morton is a special effects artist. We're going to see what he is working on today. I've been there before. He's created amazing things. Created the special effects for Too Many Cooks. Works on TV shows such as Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. So follow me.
This one, you know, is very night gallery. So yeah, I've just been going through and painting all these kind of things in the style of the night gallery. I love all that stuff, and eventually maybe I can find an actor that looks like Rod Serling, and he'll walk around the room and talk about the paintings or whatever, like he did on the show.
King Kong versus
the T-Rex. It was really good, but the craziest episode was all the abortions that are in hell find out where the guns are stashed. So they get all these guns and they go after all the abortion doctors that killed them in hell. And it becomes this big anti-gun thing. But it definitely pushed the boundaries. But one of my favorite episodes was involved this character Rudy, who we did a whole 80s like tribute you know thing where we like Nick Morgan and his team like recreated the cabin from the Evil Dead, and it was just so detailed. And what they're gonna revitalize this, like, you know, pretty lame 80s horror stalker guy. And you know how they all have like a bad backstory, you know, and this guy, he was battered and deep fried. So,
see the basket.
Yeah. So when I sculpted the thing, he here's a more clean master pull. So when I sculpted the guy, we basically went out and got a bucket of fried chicken and egg rolls and stuff, and made alginate molds of him, and then applied them to this. So he's totally
made out of deep fried objects.
He's made out of fried chicken, literally. But like you know, his fingers are all egg rolls and French fries, and they went in and digitally added little fry pops and grease, little grease things pop, and it ended up being really good and really funny. But there was this huge thing that happened, and it's just like the wacky thing that happens with show business. There was this featured bobblehead of this character, and they dropped the ball on it, so I had to like sculpt it overnight, and stay here all night and get it done. And I showed up like all because I hadn't been asleep, and you might see it for like a second in the show. But they had this whole scene where they were smashing these bobbleheads. But this thing was made under pretty extreme conditions. But yeah, so that's Rudy, the evil fry cook. Because of all the everybody gets guns, and they just start, it's just gun crazy. They're shooting all each other or getting shot up, and they all end up as quadriplegics. And Satan like pushes their wheelchairs off this like 400-foot slide. So we actually built like Craig and Henry Zabrowski in these wheelchairs, and dropped the wheelchairs from like 20 feet, you know, with these characters full of blood, and they all exploded. It was pretty awesome. But I had to match these guys because we didn't have time to do their faces, so of course that's not really Henry or Craig, but I just found some guys that look close enough to
Just find some guys that look kind of like him?
I just did it.
What's this right here?
These are some clutching hands of this person that got dipped in acid. So they were like sitting at a table like, you know. It's kind of like Tombs of the Blind Dead, you know. I want my Father's Day cake, Bedelia. This is a character from Nightbreed. This is a mask that Kevin makes. So it's like part of that Clive Barker Cabal story that he turned into a night breed, but to me it looks like Mac Tonight.
Yes.
You know, it's like an evil version of Mac Tonight. Prop that Bethany Marchman, this is her first creature that she ever made.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And she's been working with us a little more, but I mean, look how impressive this thing is for it being her first piece of work. Mohawks that the raccoons would wear.
Raccoon
So
mohawks.
come here, Dan. Let's see. So say Dan's a raccoon.
Yeah. I know.
You know.
I resemble one.
Yeah.
That's
and it
great.
wouldn't last long. Of
That's
course.
great.
They'd
You get a
they'd
call
this
that
shot.
that someone's like, we need so and so raccoon mohawks.
Yeah. We know the guy.
Yeah,
you know.
Chris Brown is actually that guy.
He's
If there's
that
something strange like that.
Yeah. Well, the craziest thing is that we'd worked with raccoons before.
Really? So
Yeah,
not even
so
your
we
first
knew-
rodeo?
No, we had known like their eccentricities. The crazy thing about raccoons is they're like the only like animal that you don't train with food. They don't care about food. How you train them is with puzzles.
Really?
They're like those little like lame puzzles, that like, wire puzzles that you get in your Christmas stocking,
Yeah, yeah.
or like throwaway stuff. They'll go crazy over those.
They love 'em?
They're like a small Rubik's cube. And how they would keep the raccoon in its place is they would put the puzzle into a box that had a hole in it that was so small that the raccoon could get his hand in the box. But when he put his hand on the puzzle, he couldn't get his hand out of the box. And that's how obsessive they were about these.
They won't let go.
They wouldn't let go. So,
Won't let go.
but yeah, raccoons, they're funny. Funny creatures.
Of course. How's the cheddar goblin doing?
The cheddar goblin's doing great. I got to take back all that stuff that I had said about Nicolas Cage the last time you were here, because Nicolas Cage is so good in it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It was good.
Yeah,
It was different, but it was good.
Yeah, it reminded me of like an 80s sword and sorcery movie,
Yeah.
but through a weird lens, you know? But yeah, the cheddar goblin like blew up. We ended up, here, check this out. We ended up doing some monster masks for him. Here you go. We did all these monster masks for Halloween last
Oh, wow.
year that were like limited edition.
Oh, and there he
And-
is, barfing out.
Yeah,
the-
this is the screen used one that there you can see the tube on his back that we pushed all the fake macaroni and cheese vomit
out onto the children.
onto the children who loved it, because they loved getting messy. You know, these movie kids, they don't ever get to be kids, you know.
So they like an opportunity to have like macaroni and cheese
Oh,
vomited on them.
They love it. I showed up and I was like, how much do you kids like mac and cheese? And they were like, we love mac and cheese. And I was like, not after today. And 7 hours in, they're covered in it and they still loved it, you know. You know, kids, they get a chance to get messy. It was really gross too, because it wasn't macaroni. It was macaroni and cheese, but it was mixed with lemon jello and some lubricants to get it to move faster. And you can imagine like macaroni and cheese and lemon jello with that citrus and that cheese, it starts to smell
Oh.
like real vomit. This place is, when my friends had bought it, they had sat on it for like 5 years or something, and when they came out to check out the property, the pirates had come in and taken all the vents and all the, like, you know, electrical wiring and stuff. Like this whole lab used to be like an all-you-could-eat meat trucker stop.
Oh, really?
This whole building used to be like the flagship of Truck Stops of America.
Really?
So you can imagine like Flo serving T-bones to truckers on either side of this. But one day
So this was originally this was really just like a counter for truckers.
Yeah, they would sit on either side. We had to cut all the stools out when we got here, and the costume department back there, if you climb up into the ceiling,
Yeah.
I found out the hard way. I came down smelling like cheeseburgers because there was like hamburger grease up in the ceiling over it.
So it's like decades of hamburger grease
Yeah, it
up
was
there.
so gross. But so one day we were out here shooting a Killer Mike and T.I. video that had like all these gunshots
Yeah.
and squibs and guts falling out of people. It was actually a pretty cool video called Big Beast. But we had to hire like extra security because T.I. is like Elvis, you know?
Yeah.
People would find out he's here and they were like scratching at the gates. So we had this, you know, extra police security here. And there was this like cool older cop, and he, instead of hanging out in the sun, he's like, man, I love those old Frankenstein movies. I just want to hang out here with you. And I was like, oh, great, we'll hang out, you know, when I was working on something. Well, he goes, you know, all this stuff is really cool, but I saw something really scary in here. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, right here. It's the first time I was just a young rookie. And he was like, I saw like my first like dead body right here. And what had happened is,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, some kid that had been working here in the kitchen had been being molested by a cook. And he grabbed a shotgun from his parents' closet, came in and blew the guy's head off right here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he said the crime scene was disgusting. But after he told me that story, and I'm not really like, I'm not superstitious or anything like that. But that night as I was leaving here, like at 4 in the morning, there was like black plastic set up from when we were doing Atlanta Zombie Apocalypse. I could hear it rustling. I could just imagine like this pool of blood here, this thing going coming up out of the floor, you know, reanimating. So it's pretty creepy. But I can show you the other areas and show you where we've actually.
Awesome. Yeah.
You know, like I on one hand I say I don't believe in this stuff, but on the other hand, I have heard the woman splashing in the tub up here.
Really?
There are no tubs. But you can imagine when we were doing the Atlanta Zombie Apocalypse out here, we had real car wrecks happening in this breezeway. We had stunt cars that would wreck into each other and zombie hordes would crawl.
Oh my gosh.
It was wild, but we would do zombie paintball. You
Yeah.
get a paintball gun and run through here and get to shoot them. So this place is pretty creepy. And you're alone in here, especially. But you can imagine, the craziest thing is when we first got here, we're cleaning it out. The stuff that we found in here was nuts. Like we found this mattress over here that had like a scab that thick on it, where they've been bringing people out here and just killing them on this mattress.
What?
Well, you know, truckers make great serial killers because they're always on the road.
Yeah.
We opened 5 different cold cases out here from the wallets we found out in the woods.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, it was pretty creepy because, you know, we first got here and it took about a year to get the electric fencing set up and make this place known as a place where people can't come and just kill people and smoke crack and stuff. But, you know, we were turning it into a legitimate business. But yeah,
There's this blood spattering. I'm guessing it's part of the haunted house.
Yeah,
And not just leftover blood
this is
from the
stuff
murders.
You know, this is new.
Yeah.
You can tell this construction because we're starting to like open it up as practice spaces. But for a while there, it was just like blood splattered walls. And I can even show you down here. This is interesting. Oh, here you go. Henry Zabrowski's in a box over here. Did you get one of these?
No,
Boom.
Oh, thank you.
Henry Zabrowski Halloween mask. One year we did a show that was like, there was a big lab here and they were making these biomechanical zombies, and this is left over from a scene there where the wall would come busting down and Chris Brown in his 7-8 foot zombie suit was the final scare. But this is all that we have to remember all this stuff by. The thing that freaked me out worse than the mattress that had a thick scab, and I'm not exaggerating, it was like that thick.
Oh.
I mean, we were like biohazarding out, you know, gloves on top of gloves to get this stuff out. But there were a couple dead bodies in here too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like I said, that was actually before.
So this was like the truck stop hotel before.
Yeah, like I said, it was the flagship of Truck Stops of America. Of course, because there's 200 hotel rooms. They all had these mirrors, so we had to take all the, you can see, they smashed the glass out, took all the tubs out, donated those to Habitat for Humanity, you know, all the bathtubs and the toilets and stuff. But all the mirrors, I found a mirror that somebody had written on the mirror, stop smoking crack. Spend more time with your family. stop smoking crack, be better to yourself, and you know that they just smoked crack and looked at themselves.
Oh my gosh.
Like the worst hell on earth situation.
Absolutely.
Like, it like freaks me out thinking about it, you know, like the desperation of the drug addict up here, their last days in this post. So whether you believe in ghosts or not, there might be some residual psychic activity in here that people that are sensitive to that sort of thing may be able to pick up on. Oh, see what I mean?
Is this just like abandoned tripods from film
Somebody
crews?
must be ready. Like a lot of shooting goes on out here.
Yeah.
So somebody must have. There was a film truck out here just yesterday. So it must be cracking something. But yeah. So this is where you would hear it. Like right here. And now I'm hearing music. That's not scary at all. She's having fun in there.
I had asked one of the maintenance guys, did you ever see any ghosts or anything supernatural? And he said, the only time I ever saw anything supernatural was years ago when I was smoking a lot of ice.
I don't think that counts.
No. Yeah, Kevin's always there right when you need him to say something that is unusable.
All right, gonna go get some lunch here at Catalina, which is supposedly a very legit Mexican restaurant. And look at that. That definitely makes me want to eat here.
So yeah, start with
I don't know what this is, like some sort of snack with a clown on the box.
comes with a face hugger.
Yeah, this menu is not in English, but I think I want whatever that is. I'm taking my chances. Oh my gosh. What have I done here? Look at this. It's got crab legs. It's got just a whole fish sticking out there.
Fish. He's like, oh, I'm gonna try to make him talk, but it's fish. Fish mouth's kind of.
Yeah, like how do you approach a thing like that?
Look at this. This is a stone bowl, and it's just filled with animals. I don't know. Guess we'll dig in here.
Yeah.
Oh, hot. Oh, there's just tentacles in here.
Yeah.
There's oysters, mussels.
A little bit of everything.
Oh, and it's spicy. All right, I have pretty much devoured my volcano bowl except for the fish's head. I don't know what half these things I was eating were, but they were all quite delicious, and my mouth is absolutely on fire.
Yeah, you're sweating.
Am I sweating?
You're like
Yeah,
red.
your forehead is
Very
Oh yeah.
red.
Whew.
You look like
Focus.
sunburn.
Am I out of focus? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I've been crying. I've been profusely sweating. My lips are red and swollen. Oh, but it was good. It was good. All right, we're gonna walk off that bowl of sea creatures here at Doll's Head Trail.
Walk off your Cthulhu meal with baby doll head.
It says keep to the bobs. I'm guessing these
Boobs.
bobbers. Oh yeah, it does say boobs. But I think it's referring to these things. I guess these are marking the official Doll Head Trail. Some sort of grave for a stick man right there.
He had a great pair of pants.
That is a nice pair of pants. Oh, there's our first actual baby doll head. Fun fact, kids, this is a mock-up of a device into which a snitch would drop a dime.
Maybe ex-prisoners built it.
Don King's actual hair. Interesting. Is Don King still alive? No, he
Not if he's donated his hair to the
passed?
Dollhead Trail here in Atlanta. It kind of like borders on like Blair Witch Project meets Whatever Happened to Baby Jane or something.
Yeah, that's the Noid down there. It's been drinking Fireball and mouthwash.
It hasn't been easy for the Noid since he lost his job with Domino. Godzilla quote.
Oh, that's a Godzilla quote?
Well, it's from the Blue Oyster Cult song.
There's just a big pile of barbed wire right there.
Yeah, it's neat.
An Elmo. Ah, look at that.
Oh man, that's creepy.
Guess these two gas cans are like making out.
Oh, the train.
Oh, there's a train back there. I was wondering what that noise was. It's a sad baculum. If you know what a baculum is, leave that in the comments section. It says Doll's Head Trail in the spirit of Passaquan. I've been to Passaquan. I've been to Dr. Evermore's Forevertron. I've met Florida Yancey. I've been to Howard Finster's place. Don't know who R.A. Miller is, and I don't know what the Thornton Dial is. What's that? It's got a little metal rusted something for a head. It's supposed to be some sort of moonshine still. It says, still, you turn me on. Interesting. I guess out here in the middle of the woods, there's like a miniature library. Doll head there, it's a little military hat on. The Atlanta Zoo.
In miniature. That's an angry baby.
Oh my gosh, that is a disturbed child right there. Look at its eyes.
Sort of weird. Just had candle wax dripping on it.
Look at this. This is just barely hanging there. There's heavy pieces of metal. Just barely.
Balance.
Yeah, if you like conked your head on that, the whole thing would come down and damage your skull.
It could definitely crack a hole in your skull.
Goodness.
Linda Blair Witch Project. It's creepy. Expect some long-haired Japanese girl to crawl out of that thing at any minute.
Oh my god. You're at the Starlight Drive-In.
Starlight 6 Drive-In. I used to have murals covering all these buildings and everything, and now it's all been painted over, but I guess this is our lost Atlanta tour we're doing. Stuff that I used to do that we can't do anymore. But you can see these faded paintings of Godzilla and Robbie the Robot. Barbarella's head is missing. I don't know what's going on out here, but I said they painted over just about everything that was out here. It's a shame because, like I was saying, there was like big paintings of Tura Satana and Dolomite. And
that's absolutely crazy to me to have 6 drive-in screens going at the same time. Yeah. I guess you just peek underneath, they have the different radio stations to tune into.
Yeah, we got Julie Adams, Creature from the Black Lagoon, but look, it's all just the sketch left. The sun baked everything off.
Guess that's what the Atlanta sun does.
Washed out Clint Eastwood over here. Attack of the 50-foot woman. Brain that wouldn't die. Green slime. Charles Bronson, you got
that death wish.
Yeah, faded away.
Says y'all be careful.
Yeah, they're not kidding. Pulling out of here is a nightmare.
Alright, so big thanks to Shane for showing me around this wonderful city of Atlanta. Always love stopping by Silver Scream Studios and seeing the amazing monsters that they're working on. If you'd like to see other places I've been, please check down in the description. I have an interactive map that'll show you where I've been, and you can make suggestions on where I need to go next. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider buying a t-shirt. Consider donating to Patreon. A $3 or more donation will get you a postcard once a month. But for now, this one's in the bag.